Hey YouTube, it's ICU, and welcome to the 143rd episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. Alright, so first up, earlier this week, as pointed out by 9to5Mac, Apple recently began decorating Moscone Center in anticipation of the company's annual Worldwide Developers Conference, more commonly referred to as WWDC. Apple's developer conference will kick off this Monday, June 10th, with a keynote presentation, which will play host to the unveiling of both iOS 7 and the next major installment to OS X. As pictured on the screen now, the first banner has a near identical theme and color scheme as the WWDC invitations that were sent out to developers in April, with one major difference. The new tagline for the decorations is, quote, "where a whole new world is developing." And with a teaser that enticing, this year's conference will hopefully showcase the drastic visual enhancements to iOS that have been detailed in recent rumors. And along the same lines, 9to5Mac also posted pictures of new banners that recently went up at Moscone Center promoting both iOS 7 and OS 10.9. Now, of course, both banners were put up in anticipation of, again, Apple's annual Worldwide Developers Conference. And with only this weekend standing between us and a glimpse at the future of Apple's operating systems, it's undeniable that the anticipation amongst Apple fanatics couldn't be higher as we approach Monday, June 10th, which again is the starting date for this year's conference. Now, the first banner features an extremely simple, trim, and elegant design with a slender yet classy number 7 and a very minimalistic backdrop, presumably to represent iOS 7's cleaner and flat design. Now, the second banner is set against a waved theme background, and in years past, WWDC typically begins with a keynote presentation. This year, Apple is expected to again reveal both iOS 7 and OS 10.9 to the world. So, of course, just be sure to stay tuned to this series, my YouTube channel in general, and Best Tech Info. I'll keep you guys completely covered on everything related to WWDC, as well as iOS 7 and OS 10.9. Alright, next up, recently a Russian newspaper publicized a report that claims Apple has filed for a trademark on the term iWatch in Russia, aligning with previous rumors suggesting that Apple has plans to launch a smartwatch as soon as this year. This new intel may point to a release sooner rather than later. And it's also said that the Russian trademark filing bears a priority registration in Jamaica of December 3rd, 2012. And although it may seem odd to those outside the company, it's actually quite a normal practice for high-profile players in the tech industry to file in Caribbean countries such as Jamaica, as their records aren't as easy to access online. And as mentioned in the report, Apple has filed for legal protection on the term iWatch in two different trademark classes. Class 9, which includes computers and peripherals, as well as Class 14, which includes a number of wearables such as watches and jewelry. Although it may seem almost 100% likely that Apple will release some form of a post-PC peripheral under the iWatch name the company is trying so hard to secure, they could easily dub the device something else entirely. After all, prior to the original iPad's launch, numerous reports surfaced pertaining to how Apple was seeking to secure rights for various iSlate trademarks and domain names through dummy corporations in an attempt to do so in secrecy, only to choose the official iPad name by launch time. So of course, same thing goes for the rumored iWatch as WWDC. Just be sure to stay tuned to this series and Best Tech Info. Alright, and finally in the news, I want to discuss jailbreaking. In the past few episodes, I mentioned that the developers will wait until the release of iOS 7 prior to issuing a public utility. And yes, that is still true. However, I have received a number of questions lately pertaining to a more solid release date and also related to iOS 7 and WWDC. It seems that a lot of people are actually confused as to what happens during WWDC and when the public will receive the finalized version of the new firmware. So as with years past, on the first day of WWDC, Apple should release the first beta of iOS 7. Again, this will be an exclusive to registered iOS Apple developers. And then from there, Apple will release a series of beta firmwares prior to releasing the finalized firmware, which should be this fall if they maintain roughly the same schedule as they did with both iOS 5 and iOS 6. And now I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail, and to do that I'm going to refer to an article from Evasion Jailbreak that I'll have linked to down below in the more info. Now, while the day jailbreaking is officially over will certainly be filled with sorrow, the day is far from us. Now, every year Apple patches the various untethered iOS jailbreak utilities released by the number of hackers on the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch jailbreak scene. And every year people immediately assume the worst following the correction of the vulnerabilities that allowed for said jailbreak utilities. utilities. So although the release of iOS 6.1.3 permanently compromised the Evasion Jailbreak utility's ability to function, the latest firmware is by no means the harbinger of an era without jailbreaking. So in spite of the fact that newer iOS owners who are on 6.1.3 or even 6.1.4 in the case of some iPhone 5 owners are no longer able to jailbreak, future utilities will allow them to once again break free from the software restrictions set in place by Apple. Moreover, as I've mentioned before, both POSIX Ninja and the Evaders plan to release utilities for future iOS 7 firmwares. Again, they're simply going to wait, and that's because iOS 6.1.3 and 6.1.4 are relatively minor updates in the grand scheme of things. Again, once iOS 7 is released, the exploits that have been saved will definitely go to better use, and it will also ensure maximum hardware and software compatibility. And just be sure to stay tuned for the most in-depth jailbreak coverage. Alright, now I wanted to discuss giveaways really quick. So first of all, last episode, because it was my 500th video, I held a second giveaway. And in that giveaway, I posted an Amazon code to a $100 gift card in the comments once it reached 2,500 comments and 1,000 likes. Well, I'm going to do a similar thing this time around. However, thanks to your guys' feedback, I've revised it slightly. So I will be giving away another $100 Amazon gift card in the comments section once this video reaches 3,000 comments and 1,000 likes. However, once this video does break that threshold, I'm going to wait until the next day at 12 p.m. Pacific time to post that code in the comments section. Also, the second giveaway I was holding will conclude after this episode, so just be sure to get your other entries in if you want another chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Just be sure to rate this video up, hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release new videos, and leave a relevant comment down below in the comments section. If you don't know what to leave in the comment section, try answering the question of the day. Are you guys excited for iOS 7 and OS 10.9, and if so, why? Alright, and to be updated more often, just be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and add me in one of your circles inside of Google+. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.